"Sir, I'm so sorry." As he stepped into the lobby, Officer Emmett walked over to him and asked, "Kevin, what are you doing here? Didn't you want me to meet you here? I figured as long as I'm at the bank, I might as well make a withdrawal." "Kevin, please don't misunderstand Blair's actions. He didn't do any of that on purpose." Before she could finish, Kevin interrupted her. "I'm not here to talk about him. Let's find a place to sit down so you can explain to me what's going on with that bracelet." Suddenly, there was a scream from the lobby. "We're being robbed!" The bank's front door was kicked open by 5 men in black. One of them fired his gun at the ceiling and shouted, "Everyone, on the floor! Put all your valuables on the floor in front of you and don't look up. If you value your lives, you'll do as we say." Just then, the leader of the gang pointed a gun at the bank employees and snarled, "Go to the vault and bring back $8 million in unmarked bills. And don't try anything you'll regret." The bank manager, Mr. Johnson, pleaded with them. "Well, we don't have that much money right now." The robber responded by shooting Johnson in the thigh. "One more word and you're a dead man." Just as he was about to pull the trigger, Officer Emmett stood up holding her badge in her hand. "Chicago PD, you're all under arrest. Put down your weapons and place your hands on your heads." Just then, the brawny robber motioned to his accomplices. "You two go and tie her up and throw her into the car." He started walking towards Officer Emmett while he said this. As the 2 men moved in to tie her up, Officer Emmett spun around and made a savage sidekick to the first one's gut. Then she spun in the other direction and threw a high snap kick to the other man's head. A gunshot rang out and dust floated from the ceiling. Kevin realized that she'd stood up and drawn their attention to keep Johnson from getting shot in the head. But now the robber was threatening everyone in the room. "Go and check his injuries. Leave these guys to me." By the time Officer Emmett realized what was going on, Kevin had already leapt in front of the man and kicked the gun out of his hand. Then he threw a lightning-fast punch to the man's head. He dropped like a sack of cement. "Stay back," the man shouted as he saw that Kevin was getting close enough to reach him. In fear for his life, he started to aim towards the hostages. Kevin saw that the gun was pointed at a little girl who was lying on the floor next to her mother. He knew this wasn't good and sprang between the man and the little girl just as he pulled the trigger. By now, the rest of the men were getting up off the floor. The one nearest to Kevin immediately hit him on the head with the butt of his gun. "That's what you get for interfering." Blood immediately started flowing down from Kevin's head. Fortunately, he was in pretty good condition, so the blow didn't knock him out. The gang's leader turned to his men and ordered them, "You guys go and put all the money in your backpacks." A minute later, the 5 of them ran out of the front door with 5 bags of money in their young hostage. About 10 minutes later, the men thought they might be getting away with their robbery. As they raced up Fullerton, one of them said excitedly, "Man, we hit the jackpot this time." Suddenly, the driver looked in the rearview mirror and started to panic. "Hey man, we got a tail. I think it's the guy from the bank." While they were discussing their options, Kevin and Officer Emmett were coming up with a plan of their own. "Kevin, hurry up and drive faster. Let's not lose them." "Don't worry. We're almost at the lake. They'll have to stop soon." Officer Emmett noticed the bright red stain on Kevin's shirt. She asked him earnestly, "How are you holding up? That looks pretty bad." "It's nothing serious. I can hold on for a while longer." When they got near the marina, the men grabbed their hostage and ran from the car. Kevin put the bracelet inside his jacket. Maybe it could at least deflect a bullet. Officer Emmett and Kevin jumped out of the car. Just as they were about to catch up with them, the group of men suddenly stopped. "Stay back or the hostage is dead." The man pointed his gun right at the kid's back while he used him as a shield. The little boy was seriously frightened and he couldn't stop crying. "I'll tell you what. If you want a hostage so bad, take me." As soon as the man finished speaking, Kevin started to sneer. He slowly raised his hands and walked toward him. "Kevin!" When Kevin was less than 6 feet away, the man let go of the little boy. The kid immediately ran towards Officer Emmett, still crying uncontrollably. Then Kevin made his move. He punched the man in the center of his chest and sent him flying backward. His men were shocked and they definitely didn't want to face Kevin again. They just snatched their leader and ran away as quickly as they could. After they were gone, Kevin grabbed his side and complained. "Damn, this hurts." "Kevin, lie down and breathe calmly. Help is on the way." The bank robbers got away in their speedboat, but Kevin and Officer Emmett managed to save their young hostage. Unfortunately, while fighting with the leader of the gang, Kevin reopened the wounds on his head and his side. Just then, the squad cars pulled up and a few officers walked over toward them cautiously with their weapons drawn.
"Chicago PD, please identify yourselves."
"You missed the bad guys by like 10 minutes. Where the heck were you?"
"Oh, Lieutenant Emmett."
"Geez, you guys are slow. Where's that damned ambulance?" Officer Emmett asked one of the officers. As soon as she asked, she saw the EMTs running toward her and Kevin. "I really don't need all of this fuss. I have a lot of work to do." "Your health comes first," Officer Emmett snapped at him. "If you don't treat this wound now, you'll probably get an infection. That'll cost you even more time and money. Now let them check you out." "I can stitch you up and give you some IV antibiotics, but I really recommend that you get it checked out to make sure it didn't hit any internal organs. It doesn't look like it did, but you never know." "I promise I'll go if it gets worse, but I just don't have the time to deal with a hospital right now. And I can't go home like this either. Lily would freak out." "You're such a Okay, you can crash out in my living room, but just for one night. Someone has to keep an eye on you. I guess it'll be me." Kevin got off the stretcher and thanked the paramedics as he stepped out of the ambulance. They got to Officer Emmett's house in about a half an hour. Once Kevin was settled into the comfortable recliner, Officer Emmett sat down on the sofa. Kevin's phone vibrated, but he ignored it. Officer Emmett turned around abruptly and headed to her bedroom. It turned out to be Phoebe Anderson sending him text messages. It looked like she'd sent him dozens of texts. He decided to call Phoebe to ask her what was going on. "Kevin, you finally saw my messages. It's been a busy day. Is there anything wrong? Do you need my help?" "Oh, I didn't know that you cared. Don't worry. It's nothing I can't handle." Then Kevin suddenly thought of something. "Phoebe, since your family's got a lot of resources, have you seen any books about the healing powers of various gems?" "Why are you asking?" "I haven't seen any, but my father has an amazing library. I'll go take a look and get back to you." When Officer Emmett woke up the next morning, Kevin had already left. Instead of heading home, Kevin went to his office at Williams Media. He sat at his desk looking at the information Miss Wilson had sent him with a gloomy expression on his face. In just one day, Williams Media had already lost over $3 billion. When the markets opened in the morning, the stocks dropped so fast that they temporarily halted trading. "Sir, if this continues, I'm afraid the company won't be able to hold on." The Williams family was just too powerful, and Williams Media couldn't stand up to them without some outside help. In just a short time, not only Williams Media, but also the Whistler Hotel and the West Chicago International Group had suffered enormous losses. All over Chicago, countless small companies were facing bankruptcy. Kevin called Mitchell Cook and the others to come back to his office. They dropped everything and rushed there in less than an hour. "Mr. Williams, why don't we just give up now and cut our losses?" Gilbert Rhodes said worriedly. "What's wrong? Are you afraid?" "I'm just worried that when the dust settles, you'll end up losing Williams Media." "I appreciate your concern, but let's not worry about that right now. I don't want to lose Williams Media either, but I can handle it if that happens. What we need to do now is to stabilize the stock market as much as possible. Don't let it crash before 3 this afternoon." At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the major news agencies shared the breaking news. The CEO of KWTD Corporation, Tyler Dawn, had given his full support to Williams Media. An unimaginable amount of money poured into the markets, and by the closing bell, their losses had been completely reversed. Williams Media stock had nearly doubled.
Hi, Kevin here. If you are wondering what happens next, then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of InstaEmpire now with the link in the description.